Hello, my name is Pavel Čermák and I'm a CEO of the first AI automation agency in the Czech Republic that deployed AI agent onto municipal websites of regional offices. We have over 15 clients in governmental niche for which we develop advanced RAG AI agents and systems that achieve over 99% accuracy in production. You have probably bumped into this video because you have problems with your agents that are hallucinating. You are either scraping the data manually from your client's website and you don't know how to reliably automate your agent's knowledge bases. RAGus AI is all-in-one platform for automating your knowledge base for any AI agent or automation that properly cleans, chunks and formats your data and uploads them into any vector store of your choice, and that be on autopilot. Let me quickly walk you through the platform onboarding. Click the button above this video to start your free trial, log into your platform or type in the URL app.ragus.ai and visit the platform for the first time. You will need to create your organization first. You can sign in either directly via your Gmail or type in other email and set your password. After that, just name your organization and create your account. You will be guided through a simple onboarding process. RAGus can be used as a platform to fully automate your knowledge base and also for you to connect all your AI agents to track conversation transcripts, use advanced AI analytics, reporting and much more. You can choose if you want to use RAGus for both or only for the knowledge base automation. Once you log into the platform for the first time, you will be redirected into the billing section to activate your free trial. We have a 5-day free trial for the starter and the specialist tier in order for you to test all the features and capabilities RAGus has to offer. We recommend to try and test the specialist tier, which gives you the ability to automate the entire knowledge base ingestion pipeline by utilizing the inbuilt task scheduler module. In order to activate your subscription, simply click on the button to initiate your free trial, enter your billing details and you will be set to go. In order to automate the knowledge base, first you will need to input the appropriate API keys. RAGus has multiple website scraping providers under the hood that can convert HTML into a structured markdown JSON content. However, in order to use them directly, you would need to custom code your solution and read entire documentation on individual software, and that's where RAGus comes in and makes your work easier. Main scraping providers we use currently are Gina.ai and Firecrawl. You will need to head over the Gina.ai and generate your API key first. If you prefer using Firecrawl instead, head over to firecrawl.dev and generate your API key as well. Also head over to openrouter.ai, which is a unified service for all currently available large language models, and generate your API key as well. RAGus uses this service in order to utilize LLMs under the hood so that you can enrich, clean and chunk your data with AI steps if needed. Head back over to RAGus into the settings section into the tab API keys and paste in your generated API keys one by one. Now you are good to go and start your knowledge base automation. Now it depends if you want to use the standalone knowledge base only or if you are using no-code bot building platforms like Voiceflow or LangChain. If you are using Voiceflow to build a chatbot, for example, you will first need to connect it into the chatbot management tab. Simply click a new chatbot button and enter in the Voiceflow API key and project ID of your Voiceflow chatbot. You are also able to override the default API keys from the general settings if you would want to assign specific API keys to your Voiceflow chatbot. When you have provided Voiceflow API key and project ID, assign the chatbot to the owner or the client who will have access to it and will see this chatbot in their dashboard after logging into the platform with their own credentials. Now, let's run our first scraper and upload the knowledge base. Simply head over to the knowledge base tab. In here you can also see that you have properly connected your API keys. Now you have options to either run and upload your knowledge base via the universal scraper or process RSS feeds even, for example, when you would be building an e-commerce AI agent. And lastly, you can browse the individual knowledge base and vector stores you have connected. Let's try and test the universal scraper and upload your connected Voiceflow knowledge base with an example website. You can choose to automate and upload either OpenAI Vector Store, Voiceflow Knowledge Base, Qdrant or even Supabase, and much more integrations are coming in the near future. Let's select Voiceflow, for example. We need to select the connected chatbot first. In RAGus, we structure and format your knowledge base in the optimal and structured format in order for you to achieve the maximum RAG accuracy for your AI agents. That's why in Voiceflow we utilize the structured tabular format. You can select one of the predefined schemas or even create your own with arbitrary searchable fields and metadata fields. Let's select the default so-called Q&A schema, which will format your website content into a set of question and answer pairs that will be cleaned, enriched and optimized for later vector store retrieval in Voiceflow. Input the base URL and choose between inputting either the entire XML sitemap or HTML sitemap, meaning RAGus will identify if the specific URL contains any other URLs in it, and all of those will be scraped as well. This solves one of the biggest pain points in the website scraping space and also a huge amount of tokens and processing time. You can of course choose to process all URLs in the sitemap or only those who actually got updated since the last run of your scraper. If the sitemap or some URLs in it do not have the last modified values, you can choose to skip those or process them regardless. Also, you can connect the RSS feed scraping all together over here and instead of going to the RSS scraper separately. If you would like not to use sitemap and just test RAGus only on specified set of URLs, you can do that as well. There are tons of advanced scrolling settings. RAGus can intelligently recognize if the URLs have, for example, dynamic widgets with multiple pages, if they have sub-URLs or contain any files like PDFs, documents, Excel sheets, presentations, and can scrape all of those automatically in one go as well. You can also choose to omit entire relative paths or specific URLs from the scraping altogether. In order to get rid of the HTML boilerplate like headers, footers, navigation, and so on, you can specify in the content provider settings to remove or target specific CSS selectors and set up the provider fallback sequence, so that if potentially one scraping provider fails, another provider in the sequence takes over in fallback mechanism. Lastly, you can choose the particular chunking strategy that's best for your specific use case. Most of the platforms on the market just use naive chunking strategy, splitting the content by X amount of tokens, resulting in the chunks in the knowledge base being incorrectly separated and cut in the middle of a sentences. This is the hidden formula you have been missing that's been ruining your agent's accuracy and causing hallucinations in the first place. For structured content, we recommend the Markdown header chunking, but you can also utilize the LLM to intelligently recognize the optimal topic boundaries and split the content in optimal way to semantic and mainly the agentic chunking strategy. You can also edit the default recommended system prompt in order to suit your specific content and use case to split your content in the best way possible. Now we have everything ready and can start our first scraping. Head over to Voiceflow or any knowledge base you have selected and check the clean and structured data that has been optimally chunked. You can see that each piece of information sits in their own atomic chunk of information with the searchable fields, metadata fields, and within the schema you have selected or defined. In our case, it was the question and answer schema, and you can see the data has been correctly summarized into the exact format and was enriched with RAG optimized keywords and metadata for later filtering. All of this will improve your agent's accuracy to the next level. You can also check and even edit the knowledge base directly from within RAGus. As well, head over to the knowledge base manager and select the vector store to inspect it. This knowledge base viewer here is much more tidy, clean, and easier to read than in the respective platforms, if they have option to inspect it in the first place and the data you uploaded there. Additionally, you can edit the individual files records directly in any way how you want it. Because we are utilizing the structured format and tabular APIs, you can create and edit the searchable fields, metadata fields, and even use advanced fields like arrays or JSON objects. LLMs just loved structured formats like JSON and Markdown, and in RAGus you can utilize that and combine them both in your knowledge base. Now the last step would be to automate the entire knowledge base ingestion process via the so-called task scheduler. Head back over to your scraper first and save the scraping configuration under a specific name. Now head over to the task scheduler and let's create your first task. Click on the task, create it under a name, select the type of knowledge base you want to automate, and now you need to select the previously saved configuration. Task scheduler works in a way that it anticipates first for you to create a configuration and run the scraper manually for the first time. After that, you can choose the configuration and connect it here to a specific task and automate the entire process. You can schedule the execution frequency. You can choose between ranges like months, weeks, days, up to hours or even minutes, which any other platform does not offer yet. Set the time of the next task run and create the task. You can choose to enable the task immediately so that it runs the very next scheduled runtime. And now you have it. Your entire knowledge base ingestion process is entirely automated. You just need to set it up once, you can forget it, and like this, you can let it run and be updated indefinitely. Now you have everything you need in terms of your data and knowledge base, and in order to achieve the maximum RAG accuracy like we do in our agency, you will now be experiencing jumps from 60 to even 95% and above with your agents and automations.